And hey
Hey
YouTube!
YouTube.
Hey YouTube.
So it goes here. We have Jota, Juan, Sean, and Andreas joining us to discuss everything about Junior Eurovision that just finished. First of all, let's ask all of the buddies here how do they feel today and how do they feel about the results of this Junior Eurovision, Jota?
Hello everybody. Today has been good. It's been a good day and I'm quite happy about the Eurovision Junior Eurovision Song Contest results. I mean, it's my number one country, my favorite one, and yeah, I'm good.
So we didn't say who won though, even though everyone who's here probably they do already know. So
Hmm.
Armenia won, Malena with Kami Kami, and Yota just said that it was her favorite. What about Juan?
First of all, I'm hungry. The contest began at 9 a.m. here in Mexico, and I was stuck to my screen, so I didn't even have breakfast. Um,
Oh,
about the contest, it was it was very unexpected. That's the word. It was weird. There were a lot of things I was not expecting, both into juries, into televote, but overall, I feel it feels great. I wasn't feeling that enthusiastic about the winner, but I understand why it won, and I saw how much it pulls lots of people. So yeah, I think this is a contest that is going to age really well. That was my final overall impression on this.
so did you agree with the winner in the end or not? From what you say.
Yes. It's when you say it's not the winner I wanted, but I understand why it won, so I'm okay with it.
Okay. Okay. So we have Andreas back. Before we go to Andreas, Sean, how do you feel today and how do you think about the winner?
I can't be sad for an Armenian win, especially, us Eurovision fans, we compare a lot. And after two Eurovision, one Junior Eurovision, one Eurovision edition where Armenia was absent, it's always nice to have the feeling of a returnee winning the contest. So I can't be sad. Was it my initial favorite? Absolutely not. Am I a little bit surprised by the televote in particular? Absolutely yes. But yeah, overall, the cream rises to the top.
Great. Great. Andrea, how do you feel today? How do you feel about the results?
Oh, I think he's frozen.
Yeah, probably he's frozen. Okay, if he's frozen, we can go on because we had many surprises, we had many ups, many downs from what we expected, and I would like each one. Okay, Andreas is out, and I'm gonna add him here. Andrea, are you back? He's frozen again. Okay, I would like each one of you to give me their biggest grower from before June, from the studio versions that we had before to the lives that we saw today, and your biggest loser. He's non-grower, let's say, so we don't say loser, but the one who disappointed you the most. I can start with Sean because I see him a bit more ready to.
um, Biggest grower.
Mhm.
More than a grower this afternoon. It's been growing on me for the past week.
Mhm.
Kazakhstan,
Kazakhstan.
yes. And the live performance was pretty good. With that being said, this is Kazakhstan's worst ever result in Junior Eurovision, but the bar
Yeah,
is high.
which
So,
was you actually said that in the reaction that we did
yeah,
that it's
I
gonna
did.
be Kazakhstan's. Yeah, sorry, go
I
on.
did. Yeah, and but it was a very elevated performance from what we've seen in the national final.
Mhm.
So I think Kazakhstan was my biggest grower. My smallest grower, if that's what we're calling it, I would say um, I'm between Azerbaijan
Hmm.
and I have to say I'm gonna say Azerbaijan. I'm gonna keep it in the Caucasus. Yeah, I liked Azerbaijan coming into this, but I feel like they overcooked the performance. But with that said, my opinion is completely invalidated with the result. So I guess the jury really, really liked this overcooked performance.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the jury votes in a bit. Let's stick to
Yeah.
this question for the moment, and then we're gonna go to the jury. Yota, who was your biggest grower and your biggest disappointment?
Like I'm gonna say the biggest grower in the sense that I went from not liking it at all to going towards, oh, I like it quite. I like it to an extent. Okay, I'm gonna say
Mhm.
Portugal. Even though I didn't
Hmm.
like, wait. Even though I didn't like his. Sorry if you can hear thunder. It's because we have a thunderstorm here in Cyprus. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, Portugal. Even though I didn't like the song and how he performed on stage, I like his live performance of the song better than the studio version. That's why I'm saying it's a grower for me because I didn't like it at all before.
Yeah.
So uh, for the least, like the one that disappointed me the most, I'm gonna go with Ireland. I didn't like Ireland at all for his live performance, based on his live performance, because I kind of found like his voice not being the one that needed to be for his live performance. So it just kind of dropped a lot in my list, and I'm gonna probably say that he was my least favorite performance tonight.
Yeah. Okay. So Ireland as the biggest disappointment and Portugal as the biggest grower for Yoda. Interesting. Juan, how about you?
Well, my biggest grower was probably Ukraine. Uh, when
Yes.
in the version that won her national final, I didn't like it at all. I was like, why is this even happening? But she grew a lot on me, not because of the song, but because of the artist. She's really really good. Like I was impressed by how well she performed and how well they did the staging. Everything worked really well, and I was impressed. I went from what's happening to wow, what's happening. I was really impressed by her, and well, I would say I was a bit disappointed in Georgia, I love the song. I think it's probably one of the best songs that has ever come to this contest. But the on stage, it was missing the spontaneity. It was missing naturality. You could see that he was thinking about the next step and what was coming next. So he didn't look comfortable, and I'm really sad about that because I think he could have won with the right performance and maybe a bit later in the running order. So and also Spain had a very strong song, but the staging got completely lost. So
Yeah.
yeah, those two let me down a little. And definitely my grower was Ukraine for sure. That's something Ukraine always does. They always get a lot better from when they're chosen to when they performed. You can see it every single time.
Yeah, Ukrainians are amazing performers indeed. I see Sean has something to say, but I'm gonna wait before I give him the microphone because I actually have kinda the same opinion with Juan. So you can attack us both. Yes, for me, Spain. I like Spain, but and I really like the song before. But when I saw it on stage, it lacked energy. It lacked the energy that the song needed. Probably the kid was angry, was stressed and whatever, but that's what I get. I didn't get this energy and this up that I wanted from the song. So my biggest disappointment is Spain as well. And we kind of go similar with Juan, even though I really liked Portugal much more than before because I didn't like it at all before, and today I liked it. I think Ukraine really won me over, and it was one of the three votes that I gave after I saw the live show today because it was amazing. She was a superstar. Now, Sean, what do you want to say about Spain?
I legit thought Spain was about to win. I sent you my predictions. I genuinely thought Spain was going to win. I don't know. The thing is, I don't think Armenia had the most energy on stage either. So with Junior Eurovision, and I remember saying this when Vicky for Poland won. It looks like the result at Junior Eurovision is less dependent on what the performance on the night is to me, and because of that, I didn't really care how much energy Levi Diaz had when I watched it and I made my prediction. But it's not because disappointment. Absolutely not. I thought the staging was incredible. I really thought that, with this new delegation in Spain and Benidorm Fest and all of this, I genuinely thought this was going to be the first milestone that Spain reaches into its Eurovision reignition. And I guess I was wrong. That's fine. But 15th place, really? Albania did better than Spain? Serbia did better than Spain?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I agree that they didn't deserve to be that low, but yeah. Anyway, since we started talking about points, let's discuss the jury points. Because the jury they gave us a weird vibe today. We're all shocked in the chat, like when we were talking. So let me show you exactly the points here. 1 second. So we can talk. So here we have the points, the final points from the juries. We had in the last places Ireland, Portugal, Netherlands, Germany, and Serbia, the bottom five. And the top five was Georgia, Azerbaijan with 104 points, Azerbaijan with 109, Armenia with 115, Poland with 116. That's so close. And then France with 120. What do you guys think about this jury vote? I want you to tell me if you had any surprise here, and if that surprise is in a good way or a bad way. I will start with Yoda.
So I guess we're gonna start by saying that everyone in the chat and all of us were surprised about the Azerbaijani votes. I mean, we didn't expect to see Azerbaijan that high because honestly, I never saw the excitement with Azerbaijan, and I didn't see it in the comments like the previous days with the people that were saying who they wanted to win or not. And Azerbaijan was never in the top five or even top 10. So when they started giving out the points and the juries were giving 10s and 12s to Azerbaijan, we were all shocked. Other than that, I think that France, Poland, Armenia, even Georgia were kind of where they should have been. I didn't expect Georgia to go that high, but I expected it to be high. And for the bottom five, I'm gonna go for the top five and bottom five. I kind of expected that bottom five, but I kind of thought that Portugal would get a lot more points from the juries. I was surprised that Portugal got so many points from the televote. Instead, they got. I thought they were going to get those points from the juries instead of the televotes. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, the storm is coming in Cyprus.
Yeah.
But yeah, indeed, Portugal got many points from the public, which was very surprising. I think what they were third, fourth in the public vote, only in the public. We're not gonna check it
Third.
later. Third. This is wow.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm gonna blame Brazil. A lot of Brazilians voted.
Well, the thing is, I don't think Brazilians listen to the music that Portugal gave us today. I mean, we didn't have any funk, we didn't have any Brazilian element, only the language.
Also, in that case, Spain should have gotten more because of Latin America.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor Spain.
Yeah, that's true. And we have to say hello to Andreas, who's back with us. He solved his connection issues. Hello,
Hello.
Andreas.
Hello, guys. Got it fixed and I'm back.
Amazing.
Really
So,
glad to see
welcome back.
you all.
We are just talking about the jury votes. Did you have any surprises there? Any? Yeah.
Well, I was really surprised about the points that Azerbaijan got. I mean, after all this thing with Armenia over the last few months, I didn't expect them to place that high. It was an unpleasant surprise for me. I would like them to see them placed really lower, even though that girl, it's not her fault. The song was nice, she was nice, but as a country, I didn't want them placed that high.
I don't think these things spill on Eurovision, though. It's the same thing. We could say the same
I
thing
know.
for Israel at Eurovision.
I know.
Unfortunately, I mean, unfortunately, I don't know. But yeah, I
And
get
Russia,
your point.
for example.
Go, Juan. Yeah. Juan.
I was just saying, yeah. I mean, if we go for conflicts, we could also say the same, for example, about Russia right now.
Yeah, there are many conflicts, and Eurovision we should keep them out. But
Yeah.
yeah, on the other hand, we cannot, and I think if it's a music competition, we need to stick to that. Even though art and politics are kind of holding hands. So anyway,
Especially in Junior Eurovision, we can
I
make a
know.
conscious effort to jamais casse the politics.
yeah,
I know, but even though we try a lot to keep those two separate, it's not easy, you know?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, get it.
But we should always have in mind that this is Junior Eurovision Song Contest, so it should be pure, and it should not be like that. As a song, I liked it.
as a song,
I
I
did
thought. Go, John. Go, Sean.
I did expect Azerbaijan to do better in the jury than in the televote, but fourth place. I was actually thinking that, since it's Junior Eurovision, they kind of overcooked their performance for me on stage. It looked like X Factor winner single kind of thing, big dress, gold LEDs, all of this. And I thought that the Netherlands coming after it, being an unnecessarily under-dramatic ballad with a much more gripping message, I thought that the Netherlands would do much better in that sense. But in the end, they didn't.
In the end, they didn't indeed.
Yeah, this is a nice line.
I could say it was mostly juries being juries and going for vocal ability because that's what she showcased a lot. Vocally, she was really good, so I think it was one of the cases where the jury say, "Oh, big wise, let's vote for this."
That's true, but at the same hand, we had the winner of the juries being France, which wasn't a song that showcased any vocal abilities. So one for Azerbaijan, they go for voice but not song, but with France, they go for song alone. Not saying that
But
France didn't perform well, but
there are 5 juries per country, and some they value different things. But I guess if enough of them valued what France showed and enough of them valued what Azerbaijan showed, I think you can explain both of them doing well.
yeah, okay.
But I think that France, if we have to say that not all songs were so childish and so fitting to the Junior Eurovision Song Contest,
Mhm.
France had the most well staged, in my opinion, well staged song, which was at the same time very fitting to this type of contest. I mean, we had so many contestants that would be good contestants in the Senior Eurovision Song Contest, but this one was the most fitting one, and I totally get why the jury voting was like that regarding France.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I would agree, Andrea. The thing is, and Yoda wants to say something. Go, Yoda.
I just wanted to say that I totally agree with Andreas. It's the same thing I said last year about France, that they had the most kid-friendly song that suited the Junior Eurovision Song Contest. Had like the performance, it had the kid element, if you want to say it like that. It suited the contest more than, let's say, even though I loved Armenia, for example, it's what Andreas is saying, that it could have been like a song for the adult Eurovision Song Contest. It's a gray area. How are people perceiving this? For example, I don't like when kids are going to the Junior Eurovision Song Contest and they are acting like adults. I hate that. It's one of the reasons, for example, I didn't like Malta having rap in it and the kid going like, you understand what I mean? I think. But at the same time, where's the line?
Actually,
And
it's a very good question, Yoda. What do you
I
guys
think with the whole adult and kid friendly theme at the Junior Eurovision, I think it's also a sign of the times because a lot of people argued that Armenia, the eventual winner, was more of an adult Eurovision song than Junior Eurovision. Even though I don't really agree or disagree, I don't mind there being, arguably more adulty songs at Junior Eurovision. But I think the results are actually a sign of the times because me personally, I thought Malta, yesterday, I said Malta was going to come last. And when we started getting 8 points from Azerbaijan, 8 points from Ukraine, I was like, hang on a minute, what is going on here? So perhaps it's a little bit of a sign of the times. And even Ike and Kaya themselves, they they take inspiration from the most adultish of adults in the Maltese music industry. So this is perhaps reflecting on what kids at Junior Eurovision these days expose themselves to.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, Sean. Juan or Andrea, do you have anything to say about this question before we go to some comments from our friends here?
About Armenia, you mean?
About the gray line between adult and kid songs in
Juan
June.
wanted to say something, so he
Go, Juan.
can go on and
Sorry,
then
sorry.
me.
Yeah, well, also let's keep in mind the age range for this contest is, if I recall right, 9 to 14 years old, and they are at an age where that age difference is a lot. Like 5 years of difference between a 14-year-old and a 9-year-old is a lot. So there is a lot of room there for different styles and different songs fitting a lot of age ranges. For example, France was obviously a lot more kid friendly, but a song for example, keeping on the example you gave, Sean, Malta, it's more like teen friendly. It's like let's say like this, a kid who is already trying to not be a child,
Yeah.
a kid who is seeing himself more as a teen and trying to be that. So it's I mean, kids trying to be adults, it's pretty much the definition of a teen. So so I would say there's still room in Junior Eurovision for that. Even if I personally like a lot more the kid-friendly songs like Georgia or France this year, France last year. But I would say there is room in Junior Eurovision for that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Juan. Thank you very much for this opinion. Let's go to some comments from our friends here, and then we go to the public votes and the final results to see what changed and if we agree or not with the results. First of all, we have Lolazo. Hello, Lolazo. Spain was so underrated. I'm sorry.
Yes, Lolazo, Spain was so underrated, very underrated, criminally underrated, unjustly underrated.
I would agree on
Can
that.
I say something about Spain?
Yeah, go on, Andrea.
Well,
Please.
when I saw that kid performing, I thought that he was kind of bored. I don't know. He didn't give me the energy that I expected from him.
Mhm.
I don't know what happened. He kind of
Yeah,
lost it. You know what I mean?
probably you were stressed or something because we were all saying that before,
Maybe.
before you entered, when you had connection, except from Sean, of course. Um,
He seems like the one who was the most happy to be there. I mean, for his face alone. But
hmm.
I totally agree with Andreas. His energy wasn't up to par. I mean, he kind of maybe felt
Exactly.
overstressed or he
Yeah,
was very
I'll
nervous.
probably watch the performance again, and I would agree with you.
Yes. Something wasn't right. It
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what it was. It.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
lacking energy, and it was you could see it. Lolazzo also said I didn't expect France to win the jury. I mean, we discussed about this before, why we thought France won the jury. And then you have Armo Gabro saying, Armenia Malena is crying so much because of the joy finally in a year time. I guess after they left last year. They didn't participate. Also,
Mm.
shout out to Poland and France. You both were amazing. Much love from Armenia. Actually, how
Exactly.
did you guys feel when it was the second and winning performance? Sean is gonna say first, and she was just crying, and it was such
So
the
cute.
cutest moment ever.
Mm.
Sean,
yeah. I was
please.
gonna make a comment about Poland actually. Um, I I never really liked Poland. I thought the song was really basic, really mediocre, and really average. And I thought that the juries would probably lap it up, but I thought if anything, the televote would give it the amount of points it deserves, be it 40 or 45 points. But apparently, it was enjoyed by the public as well, which I'm honestly a little bit surprised by, even though I am in minority here, probably. I didn't expect Poland to do so well in the televote, even especially since they went in really early. Um, and even the performance, while every time I hear Poland's song, every time I watch any sort of performance, I try to find something to justify the hype. And tonight, I still find the song really weak personally, but this is just personal opinion. First 20 seconds were great. It was really, really great. But hey,
So your biggest surprise was Poland?
I mean, no, because it's not even a surprise because I did expect it to do particularly well with the jury. At a point, it could have won the jury. I mean, it was ridiculously close. But yeah, I'm surprised it came second with the televote. How about that? Yeah, I expected countries like Italy, Spain, even France to do much better with the televote, but particularly Italy. I mean, even if the performance wasn't the strongest, 47 points. Malta did better than Italy. I'm sorry, I don't get it.
Yeah. Okay. So we like good. As long as you were talking, we had I posted the results here, the final results, to see them since we were talking about them. And actually, yeah, Poland was second in the televote and in the final vote in the end. We had Armenia winning with being first in the televote, and we had Portugal third in the televote. That was a huge surprise. People in Portugal, and let's not say it's Brazil, really made an impact with this song, it seems. I would like again to have the same question to each one of you. Which result was surprising or not, and which result made you happy or sad, and why? Let's stick with which song, which result made you happy or sad, and why. We start with Andreas.
What result made me happy?
Yeah.
Of course, Armenia. I mean, since the very beginning, it was the song that I said, "Bam, that's gonna win the contest." And when I saw her first performing in the rehearsals and then in the show today, I was pretty sure about this. When I was listening to the songs and rating them, Armenia was either first or second. In the beginning, I had Italy as first, but when I saw the performance of Italy, of course, Armenia was my first one, my 12 points. Um, I was so happy for her, and I really got moved when I saw her performing at the end of the show, crying. It was so moving because of all the shit that happened last year.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was my favorite entry this year.
Okay, thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. Let's move on to Juan. What result made you happy and what result made you sad?
Well, happy. It made me really happy, Georgia, because as I said, I love that song, and but when I saw the performance, I didn't really expect it to do so well.
Mhm.
I thought so early in the show, and the performance was not as good as I expected. So I really expected it to do a lot worse. I expected everyone to forget about it. So fourth place, I'm really happy with that.
Mhm.
Um, Also, well, it makes me sad the result of the Netherlands because I feel she was putting a lot of herself in that song.
Yeah.
Uh, there was it was a very personal song, and it had a lot of meaning, but the performance was a bit forgettable, and that cost her to end where it ended. So that made me sad. And well, also France. I think I still don't know what happened with France in the televote. I expected it to do a lot better. When they say they need 105 points to win, I was like, they got this, and then 67 points. So I'm still trying to process that.
Okay. Yeah, and also Lolazo agrees with you. So impressed by the Netherlands getting a last position.
Hi Lolaso, you get it.
Yeah, Sean, what result made you happy and what result made you sad?
Um, which result made me sad? Spain 15, disgusting. Italy 10, underrated. Um, France third, could have been better. What result made me happy? I don't know. North Macedonia 9th, excuse me. I'm gonna say Germany didn't come last. Hooray! Um, yeah. Okay, Malta. Let's give one to Malta. I genuinely thought we were gonna come bottom three. Malta.
Okay, great. See, Malta is
I
not new
feel
to
this much of a
12.
patriotic twinge right now.
Yota, how about you? What result made you happy and what result made you sad?
Okay, of course, Romania coming first made me happy. She was my number one. I wanted her to win from the first time I heard the song, and she did. I have to be honest, I was quite scared when they were giving the televoting votes. When they said 109, like only 7 points above Poland, I was so sure that France would get like 150 or something. But when they said 67, I was very, it was very bizarre to me because if you see the points given by the televote, they are very average. Like if you
Yes.
take the lowest points given to the highest up until the third, which is Portugal, they got 92. All the rest are pretty much somewhere between 34 and 50 something, 60 something, which
Yeah.
is not a lot of, like, you don't have a lot of variance there. You don't have a variety of points. And it shows that people this year weren't very sure about what they wanted. It was very sparse, giving their votings to one particular country. I mean, even Armenia getting the most points, like they weren't the definite winners because
Mm.
Poland got 102. It's not that far of a difference. So yeah, disappointed. I have to be disappointed about Netherlands. I like the song, and she performed like she was the last one, right? Am I remembering correct? She was the last one
The last time to
performing.
perform?
No,
No.
Portugal. No, it was Portugal. Sorry, but she was in the last places performing, so I expected like she would be at least a bit remembered by the public. So she didn't get as much as I would hope. So I expected Ireland to get the last place, and I expected Netherlands to be somewhere in like bottom seven. But yeah, happy about Armenia, sad about Netherlands.
Awesome. Thank you, Yota. Actually, I'm super happy also about Armenia because it was my winner as well, and I was ecstatic. Actually, this top three was my top three, so I was so happy for that. But except from that, I also was happy about Ukraine because she really did an amazing job on stage today, and she deserved the sixth place that she got. Six, right? Yeah, six. So I was so happy about that. But also, I really agree about Netherlands. I cannot believe that Netherlands is last because I think other songs deserved to be in these last places like Ireland, Serbia, Germany, no, Bulgaria. This
Bulgaria.
I mean Bulgaria. Yeah, and also Spain. I think Spain should be much higher. I mean, yes, he
Yes.
was underwhelming today. He was underwhelming, but still not to be that low because the song is better than that. So yeah, these are the two results that made me sad. Um, so that's what's the all the discussion about the points, about the televotes, and all of that, and now have Armenia winning. What do you expect, guys, next year from Junior Eurovision? What songs do you expect to see? What do you expect it to be in Armenia or somewhere else? Generally,
I
what
expect
expectations do
to
you
not
have?
see Azerbaijan.
So go Sean.
I expect not to see Azerbaijan
Yeah.
for safety purposes.
Yeah, probably Azerbaijan. I don't see them participating as well. I mean, yeah. But what else do you expect except from that?
I mean, it's tough with Junior Eurovision because it's not as big of a competition as Eurovision. It's not as much followed. So it's difficult to see how the results of this year are going to impact what other countries send next year.
Hmm.
And also, I think even with national finals and these things, I personally don't follow Junior Eurovision national finals, so I can't really say what was sacrificed, what was KO'd. Um, it's tough to say, but maybe we can answer that question more after Eurovision 2022.
Yep.
Super correct. Because we also saw the impact of Maneskin in this Junior Eurovision.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much, Sean. What about Yoda? What expectations do you have for next year?
So if they have the contest in Armenia, I don't expect Azerbaijan to participate, of course. Um, I'm not sure if Armenia would um, host the Eurovision. I don't know. Are they in the position to host? Is the EBU going to allow that? I don't know. Um, as for changes, I don't see any changes. I mean, every year we have pretty much the same thing, trends going all the time. We see changes in what trends are like in both the adult and the junior Eurovision. So it's not like what it's what Sean said. We can see after the Eurovision Song Contest 2022. Um, Other than that, I'm not the biggest fan of Junior Eurovision Song Contest, so I don't actually follow a lot of things about Junior Eurovision Song Contest. Um, I have to say this, we didn't mention this, but France did an amazing job. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
this like the stage, the performances, the introduction, like the I don't remember the duo they had. Offenbach was we
yeah.
called
Yeah.
the duo they had. They were the DJs. Like they really pumped the audience, and I have to say that it looked like really fun to be in that audience. Would love to be there. Even though I'm not that big of a fan of the show, like the junior Eurovision Soccer. So yeah, I want to expect something similar in next year's junior Eurovision.
Thank you, Yoda. Andrea, what do you expect from next year's Junior Eurovision?
Well, this year, as Jota has said, France has set the standards too high. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna see next year. I definitely want to see Armenia hosting it because I think that after all, in Yerevan, which is the capital of the country, there aren't any conflicts. I think that the conflicts are in the borders of Azerbaijan and Armenia. So I really hope that they're gonna host this. If not, we will see. But I think that both Jota and Sean were right to what they said. I really expect Eurovision 2022 in Torino just to see what the impact of next year's Junior Eurovision Song Contest will be in terms of music and song.
Also, can I ask? This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the second time that Armenia has won the contest. Did they
Yeah.
host last time? I don't remember. In 2010, I think
They
they won.
did.
So they did host in 2011, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I
If I can just extend a little point
Yeah,
on the,
yeah.
because we said we would be more, capable of making a prediction on what to expect after Eurovision 2022. Actually, what I expected Eurovision 2022 is a lot of authenticity. After Maneskin and Barbara Pravi, John Sears, Goe, we've seen authenticity being rewarded very well in 2021. And if that pattern carries on in 2022, then I think that sets a really good precedent for Junior Eurovision 2022 because it's very easy for kids to be influenced by their so-called idols. So if we can get this authenticity vibe at Junior Eurovision as well, I think we're in for a really special edition of Junior Eurovision next year, which, by the way, is a tough bar to follow because this one was excellent.
Yeah. Actually, that's a very, very good point, Sean. And I mean, this year France did an amazing job. The show was good. We had good songs. And yeah, if they follow the authenticity path, that would be amazing. But let's see if they're going to follow it in Eurovision too, because for the moment we have two songs, which we cannot say are the most authentic.
Yeah,
Not saying which is bad or which is good, is
yeah,
or bad, nothing like that. But we don't have this authenticity that Maneskin, Goe, and
yeah, yeah,
Barbara.
yeah, yeah. That's absolutely true.
But let's see, we just had like 2 out of 40 something songs, 41. Okay, Juan, what do you expect from next year?
Well, I think one of the big problems is that you cannot manufacture authenticity by definition. You need to find it, and sometimes if you are lucky enough to find it, it works well. But it's not the kind of thing you can create. So that's gonna be always a bit difficult to come by. Now, about next year, I think, well, we already touched this, but there seems to be like I'm not sure if they are really opposed, but two different perspectives about what Junior Eurovision should be. Uh, Either from a very exclusively child focused show or something focused on a wider age range, including also teens and more adult themes on the songs and the aesthetic and the performance. And we have seen this for the last few years. I would say, since I would say exactly since France returned. France brought this back to Junior Eurovision. Uh, when they brought Angelina, we had in the top two one of the most child-friendly songs with Angelina and one of the most adult songs of that year with Poland. And it has been like that ever since. We even saw it this year with Armenia versus France. So I think that's going to continue next year, where this is a debate that hasn't been solved yet, and we're going to see countries trying to bring that perspective into play, either by going for something very kid friendly or for something very teen friendly. So I expect a lot of variety in not only in music and styles or music or performances, but even in perspectives about Junior Eurovision. So I think this is going to be very interesting in the next few years because it's something that is not going to get solved soon. It's going to be a debate in some form.
Yeah, I think we're going to have this debate a lot going for many years. I don't think getting resolved because I don't think there is a correct option on this one. So I think
Right.
people were going to continue sending more adult-like and more kid-friendly songs. And probably depends on the song. I mean, last year, Valentina had a super kid-friendly song, and she won because she was absolutely charming and with an amazing song. Want to say something, Juan?
No. Just
Just want to say,
Valentina did this.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So that was all about our expectations for next year. For me, I would really love to see the competition in Armenia. I would love to go if possible. Because I was waiting Armenia to win Eurovision to go, but I don't see it happening soon. So let's go for Junior Eurovision. That's still something.
Why not?
Um, yeah, I mean, they were so deserving winners, and I'm so happy for them. As for the styles, I don't think we're gonna have very different styles. Again, it's gonna be a combination between what happened in Eurovision and what's the trend from the previous Junior Eurovision. That's what I saw this year, at least. So I think it's gonna be again this combination. But I hope more countries will join after this amazing competition that we had in France. But most countries just focus on Eurovision from what I see, and they don't really want to pay money for Junior Eurovision. That's what we've seen so far, except from many countries from the Eastern Europe. But yeah,
Um,
that's all I was thinking.
if
Go,
I may
Juan.
say,
Yeah.
I was reading that Iceland sent a delegation
Yeah.
this year.
Hmm.
So I think we might see them next year.
That's very interesting and very happy. Very
And
good.
maybe we can see Australia back
Oh yeah.
I think
if
Australia depends on the COVID situation.
yeah, if we get 5 or 6 booster shots by then, maybe Australia can come back to Junior Eurovision.
Yeah. So we don't send a sad mountain version in Junior Eurovision next year. Let's hope they can send something if possible. But for countries, for example, like Greece or Cyprus, that we're closer. I mean, me and Yota and Andreas from the channels and whatever, I don't see them coming soon. And I think it's the same for other countries too. And I expected other countries to be. I mean, Sweden, Norway. I expected them to participate in Junior Eurovision, but yeah.
The thing about Sweden and Norway and Finland and Denmark and also Iceland is that, and this is coming from a perspective of someone who lives in a Nordic country, they have so many mentalities on what kids should and should not do. And probably their heads of delegations just aren't into Eurovision, at Junior Eurovision actually. I'm surprised that Iceland sent a delegation, but as much as obviously we would like as many countries as possible, I don't see the Nordics coming back. But I'd love to be surprised.
Yeah, amazing. So I think we didn't have any dramas this year to discuss or anything extraordinary to discuss. So kinda this is the time that we could wrap up. But before we wrap up, I would like to ask, and we didn't have many interaction here in the audience. So I would like to ask each one of you if you want to add something, if you want to say something before we say good night. Go. Let's start with yeah, whoever wants to say something before we say good night, and then I'm gonna give you the good night. Andrea.
For me, the most surprising thing is when I saw Georgia performing their song. I mean, that kid had something. The whole performance was so to the point. I really enjoyed it. I loved the song. It was cute. I really expected it after what I've seen today. I really expected them to be placed really high, and it was a pleasant surprise for me. Loved it.
Yeah, it was a very pleasant surprise. I mean, and Georgia did very well. I didn't expect it to be that high, but it was well deserved.
Yep, exactly.
Yota, Sean, and Juan, do you have to add anything before we say goodbye? Juan.
Well, something interesting in particular this year is how many of these kids are people you could actually see coming back to Senior Eurovision in a few years and doing well because they are already at that level. Armenia was not my favorite song, but she as a performer is already there, and especially I would say Ukraine. Ukraine, 90% of the result was because of her and how good she is.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we may see, I don't know, in 5 years or so. Some of these kids returning for another try at Senior Eurovision. Also Georgia, for example, and well, I don't know France. France, the song is very different, and it's not so easy to see how it's gonna be when he performs more adult songs. But lots of singers this year uh, are singers that I could see in Senior Eurovision in a few years, and that impressed me a lot.
Yeah.
That's true. And all these examples that you gave really need to come back for Eurovision to do a destiny. Um, so Sean
Oh
and
God,
Yota.
no, 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 no destiny, no destiny. Only Levi Diaz's, only
Okay.
Elisabetta Liza's, only Enzo's, only Kami Kami's, no destiny. We can see all of them come back if they have a great song, if they enter their country's national finals, if there is one. We could see all of them come back, and I would love to see. Returnees are always a good thing. So
Yeah.
no destiny.
Yeah. He's mad.
Still mad after last year. Yota, you have to add anything.
47 points.
I just want to say that I don't agree that all of these kids are adult Eurovision Song Contest material. I
No.
don't think that all of them have the potential to have a career when they grow up. I'm not going to be mean and say which ones I don't think are meant to go on and continue with this because you have to understand a lot of the time adorableness gets you a long way, and a few of these kids went to this contest because they were adorable and they have that kid voice and they can, I don't know, blend all those things together and have something that's worth for a Junior Eurovision Song Contest. But I don't think that all of them can go to perform to the original one. It's not as easy as we are making it out to be. It's
No,
so much
I completely
harder.
agree. I
Yeah.
completely agree. I was just trying to sprinkle as much sugar on it as I could because it's Eurovision.
Yeah,
But realistically speaking,
Yeah.
No,
I
no,
let
no.
my
We're
kids.
not. Not gonna
Yeah, 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 yeah.
name kids or
Yeah.
countries. We're just gonna say that some have the potential of going to the adult Eurovision and even doing really well. So yeah, let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Amazing. Yeah, actually, I think we're all on the same page. Let's not name countries and kids, but yeah, it's and also to have a career as a singer as an adult is much more difficult because as a junior Eurovision you can go without having a career. I mean, yeah. Anyway, um, so that was it for today, as far as I can think, because I don't think we have any more questions. We don't have any questions here in the audience. So I would like to thank each and every one of you that came here on a Sunday afternoon to chat about Junior Eurovision. And all of our next of our lives are gonna be about adult Eurovision. So no more sugar coating, Sean.
Can't
Um,
wait.
Sean.
Sure,
Y'all are
no
not ready.
problems.
we are so ready. So thank you guys. I would like to give the microphone to each and every one of you to say good night, and then we can wrap it up. Yota,
I'm not gonna be like saying a lot of things. Just good night, people. Thank you for being here, and let's see you guys in a few days or weeks. We'll see.
yeah, Sean,
Good night. Get ready for some serious national final drama.
exactly, Andrea.
Good night, guys. Thank you for being here, and we expect you soon on our next lives. See you.
Thank you, Andrea and Juan.
Well, thanks a lot for being here, guys. Uh, I'm gonna start saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And well,
Oh no.
the Eurovision 2022 season is already open, so stay tuned because there's a lot more to talk about.
Exactly. I would also like to thank everyone for coming here. And before we go and I say happy holidays, I'm just gonna say that we are out of sugar. So let's bring the adult competition now. For the moment, good night and happy holidays. Bye bye.
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 Broadcast out.